make our little vegetable bird's nest, we need 2 medium carrots that are already peeled, a medium zucchini, and half an onion. Now, I bought this little peeler on Amazon because it was recommended through the recipe itself. One side is just your typical vegetable peeler. The other side is the julienne side. I will link it in my description box below if you're interested. It is a learning curve. I'll show you my first one. I honestly wasn't sure that it was going to work, but you'll see. Look at those little julienne strips. How cool is that? So after the first carrot, I kind of struggled with it, and if some does get caught in the peeler, you can easily get it out with a toothpick or just run it under water and it rinses right out. By the second carrot, I realized every pass I would turn the carrot. So it just made it easier for some reason, I guess because it made the carrot even. But you can see how easy it just slides down and julienne's this carrot. The next thing we have to do is the zucchini. And I ended up going around the peeling first, just getting all the peeling off. And then instead of twisting it around like the carrot, I just held it flat and did it like that. And I was just left with a teeny little bit in the middle that was not usable. And I meant to tell you on the carrot, that one little end, you can either discard it or have it as a snack. But I found that I had to have something to hold on to. I couldn't get the whole vegetable. Now, the onion, all we want to do is slice it very thin. We don't want to julienne it. There, I'm just showing you how thin that I want it to do, so I'll go ahead and do that. Now, you just need to mix it. It says use 2 big forks, and I'm using my big serving forks. And I'm breaking up the onion and trying to mix all the vegetables together. Now is the binder. We have 1 egg and 1 egg white that I kind of beat together a little bit. In this bowl, I have 2 tablespoons each of panko all-purpose flour, Parmesan cheese, a little salt, and a little pepper. I'm using those 2 big forks to mix this completely, and I didn't realize until editing that my arm was in the way. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but just toss and turn until you get everything incorporated and the vegetables all coated. Same with this. I didn't realize my arm was in the way. I'll just show you how I do one. Take a little pile of the veggies, kind of bunch them up together to make a little nest. Mine made 8, and I baked it at 350 for, mine went 20 minutes. You want to go until it says the edges are crispy and the bottom starts to brown. My edges didn't get crispy, but my bottom browned. It's still a little spongy. They're not hard. They still have give to them when you eat them, but they're not crunchy. They're not crisp tender. They're just, it's hard to describe, but I'll tell you, they passed the copycat Trader Joe's version really well. They're good enough to say, okay, this will take the place of my discontinued favorite. David tasted them. He loved them too. I will say this, they are best served warm out of the oven instead of warmed over because they still have a little bit of a crisp to them than when they've gotten cold and they're warmed over, which they were still good. I'm just saying, fresh out of the oven is best. So, if you like Trader Joe's, I think you will like this. Now, my calculations came up to 4 of these, which is half the recipe, is 1 power fuel for all the ingredients combined because the veggies don't count. So if you like those vegetable nests from Trader Joe's, I encourage you to give this a try. For the zucchini strips, I started with 3. I was not sure how many I would need. To cut them into strips, take the ends off, cut it in half, and then cut each one of those halves in half lengthwise. And each half we're going to cut into 3 strips. And here's what they look like. They're just like little wedges. So I'm going to finish up and do all the rest of those. I ended up only using 2 because you see this bowlful? That is gracious plenty. I air fried. I sprayed my air fryer sheet, and I have 3 bowls here. The amounts will be on the website, linked below. The first one is whole wheat flour, beaten eggs, and a mixture of panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. First, we want to roll them in the flour and then in the egg. And like they say, have one wet hand and one dry hand. So we're going to put it in the panko and then coat it with our dry hand. It just makes it a lot easier and a lot less messy. And I'm going to do that to all the rest of the zucchini until I fill up my air fryer sheet. Now here in my little chef man, which I can't figure out why there's a haze on it because it's brand new. I'll have to look into that. But I'm going to put it on air fry at 375. I started at 6 minutes, but ended up going for 10 minutes. I didn't want to overdo it because this thing cooks really hot, really fast. And here they are. I took a bite. The inside is nice and tender. The outside is crunchy. I couldn't believe how crunchy. It's like they were fried, seriously. And they're very good. So that is it for me for this video. I hope you enjoy these recipes, and everything will be linked down below in the description box. So I will see you in my next video.